From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Wednesday, October 16th, 2024. Your 10-day takeaways. The first one is a repeat. Progressive pattern moves along. The pattern is active. We've got changes most felt with our temperatures here, but there are areas of low pressure traversing Western Canada, bringing us some breezy temperatures. Breezy winds is what I meant to say there. Temperature swings, and at times some shower activity, though precipitation continues to be pretty sparse. But with some colder air moving in, could see our first snowflakes. There's a couple chances for some snow across the prairie in the last 10 days of October, and with that, a colder finish to the month of October as well. We'll talk about what that means for you in some of our select cities with those temperature forecasts at the end of this video. But right now, if you look at those temperatures, generally in the single digits across the prairie. You can find some areas where they are below zero. But you look off toward the left side of this picture, and you can kind of see the stark contrast. Whereas you look at you look at the Pacific Northwest, and we're in the mid-teens across that area, parts of southern British Columbia. And then you head a little bit further north into central BC, central and northern Alberta. Those temperatures quickly fall below zero. So there's a stark contrast there. And when we get a sharp temperature gradient like that, it often means the jet stream is quite strong between that area there. And that's what we're seeing, a very active jet stream across portions of Western Canada that is triggering some areas of low pressure that are spawning some showers across the area. So some light rain in parts of central Alberta into northern Saskatchewan here. Calgary, maybe some raindrops today. Edmonton, maybe a couple drops of rain, maybe a few snowflakes as well. As you get further north into portions of northern and central Saskatchewan, some light rain there as well. Generally near and south of Highway 16, you're going to be on the drier side over the next 10 days. And then north of Highway 16, you'll tap into some of these showers a little bit more. But when we look at the next week of precipitation from the European AI forecast system here, the prairie continues to be kind of in a void. This pattern, again, it's active, but it is one that typically rain shadows the prairie. So Peace River, Grand Prairie, maybe areas up toward Edmonton and north of Edmonton, just north of Calgary. That's where you see a little bit more in the way of measurable precipitation. You'll get into 10 to 20 millimeters of precipitation. But otherwise, across the whole of the prairie, we're on the drier side. We'll add in the next 10 days, taking in this out to October 27th. Not much change. A lot of precipitation on and west of the mountains here across British Columbia. Again, the chances you head further north to tap into some of these showers, but across the prairie down into the northern high plains of the U.S., just a quieter pattern when it comes to precipitation. We'll see those temperatures fluctuate. We'll see some windy days as areas of low pressure track across the region, but this is not a pattern that's going to suddenly soak us in late October and early November, not a pattern that's going to be burying us in snow either. One more way to look at this, the 15-day precipitation. My words are all switched up this morning. 15-day precipitation anomaly forecast. Again, a lot of brown across the prairie. It's a drier pattern. A lot of brown extending into the northern plains, the upper Midwest, the Midwest of the U.S. as well. This just is a dry pattern across much of central North America. As we go ahead and take a look at the pattern here, it continues to move on. We see that ridge continue to try to build in, interrupted by passing areas of low pressure. The jet stream will stay rather fast across the Canadian prairie, especially in the end of October. I think we're going to ramp up the activity there, a little bit more of a wintry feeling pattern in late October, early November. Short term, just some light showers with this area of low pressure, some breezy conditions with this as well, but generally not much in the way of accumulating precipitation across the prairie. I'll go ahead and slow this one down. We'll track this area of low pressure emerging here during the day on Wednesday. As we get into Thursday afternoon, the area of low pressure now kind of moving out of Alberta into Saskatchewan. So clearing up on the backside there, showers off to the north, a couple scattered showers here along the front from the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border southward. This is again Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. The area of low pressure clears the area Friday into Saturday, quiet between another little system trying to make its way into the area as we get into the weekend. So higher elevation, seeing some snowfall here, seeing some of that white stuff accumulate over the Rockies. Could be heavy in some areas of the Rockies here along the British Columbia and Alberta border. Looking at the forecast, though, through midday Saturday, again, from the high-resolution NAM model, north of Highway 16, chance to pick up a little bit more in the way of precipitation here, 10 to 20 millimeters. South of that, on the drier side. And as we just kind of zoom out, take a longer look at this from the European model, not much change. These passing areas of low pressure, they bring a chance for some precipitation, but a lot of it falls north of the prairie. The one that has the best chance to bring in some snow to portions of the prairie, that one comes in over the weekend into early next week. This would be kind of the first pieces of this ejecting on Saturday into Sunday. And then as we get into Monday, this is Sunday night, Monday, an area of low pressure forecast to swing in across the prairie, may have enough cold air to work with to bring in some snow flurries, maybe even some light accumulating snow as well. Again, this would be early next week. So the European model, verbatim, this is not how it's going to end up, exactly. But you do see it forecasting the chance for some snow, especially north of Highway 16, but not impossible. We could see some snow accumulating across the prairie over the back half of the weekend into early next week, and then some chances to kind of reinforce that into the very end of October. Could be a wintry feeling end to October is what I continue to kind of advertise, I guess. Now, as we look at the European ensemble forecast probability of precipitation here, kind of a different way of looking at this. This is the chance of picking up less than half an inch of precipitation, less than 12.5 millimeters of precipitation over the next 10 days. So where you see the orange and red shading, that's where it's forecast to be drier over the next 10 days. So again, the prairie, chances for showers, not likely we're going to see a whole lot of accumulating precipitation or snow, though we have the chances for it over the next 7 to 10 days. One more way to look at this, again, just showing you the void of precipitation across the prairie in a lot of different ways. This is the European ensemble forecast precipitation here. Just kind of showing you, much of the prairie, if you see precip, it's going to be light, a few millimeters. You head north of Highway 16, better chance to pick up 10 to 20 millimeters. You got to go all the way over to Peace River, Grand Prairie, portions of, western, higher elevations, and in some of the valleys there where you could get up to 20 to 30 millimeters of precipitation. Otherwise, pretty dry over the next 10 days. We'll look at those temperatures oscillating over the next 10 days as well. A bit warmer in the next 5. Days 5 to 10, we trend a bit colder. So here's a look at that. The next 5 days on the left, and then days 10 to 15 on the right. So this is October 16th through the 21st on the left, October 26th through the 31st on the right. Warmer overall over the next 5 days. As we get into the back half of the week 2 time frame, look for a shift toward a colder pattern. What that looks like here in Calgary, highs in the mid-teens over the next 5 days or so. High temperatures in the single digits with overnight lows below freezing much, if not all, of next week. Edmonton, a very similar look. Saskatoon as well. Regina, and the cool down will be felt all the way in Winnipeg. Look at that. Highs near 20 through the weekend in Winnipeg, dropping down to the single digits to near 10 degrees next week with those overnight lows falling below freezing.